Tom Homan, one of my great heroes. Mr. Homan, thank you for coming on, as always. All these stories together is utter insanity. And if this is politicized by Democratic constituents, that just makes the insanity triple. I mean, I just can't believe that this stuff is happening. But I know you're going to be tough on it. I just want to get your take. What's happened so far?
Well, look, unfortunately, over 2 months ago on this network, I said if the rhetoric continues, if the hateful rhetoric calling ICE agents Nazis and terrorists and racists, if that continued, I've been down the show before. I've seen this recipe before. It's going to end in bloodshed. And I say either a protester turned criminal is going to be killed or an officer is going to be killed. And it happened yesterday. I didn't want it to be true, but I've seen this recipe before. And I tell you something else, it's not over. Unless the Democratic leadership stops the rhetoric. I mean, we're hearing from senators and from Congress people like Jayapal connecting us to a terrorist group. You got AOC out there saying we're violating people's civil rights and constitutional rights, others comparing us to the Nazis. That tells the left, lunatics out there, it emboldens them. Okay, well, if a member of Congress can compare them to Nazis, then I can take some action. So it's a rhetoric needs to be tapped down, or you're going to see more bloodshed. I called it 2 months ago, and unfortunately I was right. But this is a problem, and you said it in your monologue there. We're just simply enforcing law Congress enacted. So no member of Congress should be calling them Nazis for enforcing the law that they wrote and that they appropriate as funds to do. And while they're arresting people who have final orders of deportation or had due process at great taxpayer expense, a federal judge has ordered them removed. It's ICE's job to remove them. They're doing their job. I want to make one thing perfectly clear. The men and women of the Border Patrol, men and women of ICE, they're mothers and fathers too. They don't hang their heart on a hook every day to go to work. This job is dangerous already. And with this rhetoric, making it much more dangerous.
But yes, of course, sir. But Tom, I've been around a while. I have a little bit of problem knowing that all of a sudden the groups of people, whoever they happen to be, think it's okay to shoot at cops. All right? I regard Border Control as part of our national police. I regard ICE as part of our national police. As you say, they are upholding the law. Congress even passed the law. It's been an executive order. There's $175 billion in the one big beautiful bill to help the whole story here. People shooting at cops in the United States of America? I just find that incredible, sir.
It is incredible. Look, my grandfather was a cop. My dad was a cop. I became a cop. I knew I was always going to be a cop. Cops, in my day, are respected, right? And they're held to a high esteem. We're in a situation now where the Democrats push on, it's all about anti-Trump policies. But now, all of a sudden, those who enforce laws are bad guys, and those who broke the law are the victims. But here's a clear message to these antagonists out there. You're not going to stop us from doing this job. ICE is going to be out there tonight. They're going to be out there tomorrow. They're going to be out there every day enforcing laws. Border Patrols can continue securing that border and protecting America. Every criminal, alien, and public safety threat we're taking off the street makes this country safe. President Trump made a promise to the American people, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. So, you can continue the rhetoric. It's unfortunate. I wish they stopped, but you're not going to stop us from doing the job President Trump was voted in office to do. Luckily, we have the greatest president in my lifetime sitting in this building behind me. I'm proud to work for him. He's got our six. And most of the American people have our six. We're going to continue doing this job without apology.
Yes, well, bless you for all that. Bless you for all that. So you've got these mayors in Chicago, in Boston. I got a wannabe Democratic mayor in New York. He's so proud of himself here. He wants to defund the police. This is a sanctuary city. No ICE agents will be allowed to say in New York City. Basically, this guy Johnson has said the same thing in Chicago. The mayor of Boston has said the same thing. In Portland, Oregon, as you're well aware, just a day or two ago, they were storming the ICE center. I mean, it's like there's no law and order. This is not a funny thing either. I mean, it's not the summer of 2020. This is not the summer of love. This is 2025, okay, with a new boss in town, Mr. Trump, a new sheriff in town, yourself, Tom Homan. These mayors are helping to foment the violence, and you can't listen to them. Nobody should listen to them.
No, not only that, I'm going to head to Portland. I'm going out there. They're not going to bully us or You know, we're going to do the job. We're going to do it in Portland too. But for the mayor of New York City and Chicago, President Trump made it clear 2 weeks ago. We're going to double down and triple down on sanctuary cities. Why? Not because they're blue, because we know there are recent public safety threats to the streets every day. Like Florida, we agree with all the sheriffs in Florida. They're taking our detainers. They're not releasing illegal alien public safety threats. They're calling us. So we can spend less resources in Florida and send them to New York, to Chicago, and to Portland, and L.A. We're going to double down and triple down on sanctuary cities. If we can't arrest a bad guy in the jail, then we'll go to the community and we'll find him. Or we'll do more worksite enforcement. We'll find him at the worksite. And when we do these things and we ramp up that enforcement, we're going to find others who aren't a criminal target, but they're in the country illegally. We're going to arrest them too. So what you're going to get, sanctuary cities, is exactly what you don't want. More agents in your communities and more collateral arrests. That's what we're going to do. We're doubling down, tripling down. So for those who say they're going to keep ICE out of the city, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Be safe, Tom Homan, and thank you ever so much for your service.